notice that the menus that pop up here, biography, encyclopedia, image, and movie or simulation that we were talking. So come back. Notice that whenever I want to, I can clear the screen, go right back to where it was. Einstein just highlighted to remind me where I was. And go, wait a minute, let me see what the biography is. I can look at it here. I can pop this into predominant so I can see it all at once. Make this foreground, if you will. Make this parallel, put it away. So now I want to see more elaboration on that. And look at the encyclopedia, like volume 1 as well. Now I'm not trying to say, this isn't about text. This isn't about content. This isn't about encyclopedias or dictionaries or biographies. It's about a relationship to resource and meaning needs as they're occurring, as people are flowing through learning experience. Put this back down. For those of you that have any technical background, you may notice that we're moving these resources in and out pretty rapidly. There's a different geometry, a data structure underlying all this to make that possible. So that this could happen on low-power machines. This could be part of the way, as I said, television sets, Nintendo, low-power platforms. So we call this then situationally relevant reference or quick reference. So I just clicked on Newton, for example, and there's an author's note. Biographical information. Oh, let me do something else here. I'll jump to the compass and make the size of it easier for you to read. Is that a little better? Okay, yeah, one of the features is kind of a low-level feature. I'm not trying to ask you to read the content, but to kind of participate with me in the dexterity of the system. It's not about whatever's on the screen at any moment. It's about how things are moving through the screen and how that's responding to the articulation, movement, and meaning. So, I've adjusted that. We'll go back and look at Galileo, for example. Galileo has biographical information in the picture. Notice the system just kind of self-situates itself. So different kinds of information between the Click the button, boom, go right back out to where I was, I go on. So it's before I go any further, let me introduce another metaphor to kind of see what we're talking about here, which is what we call the learner scope, the microscope. Imagine, if you will, that what we've got for the learner is a tool in which they can put a slide into this device. And the slide may be something that's been curriculum regulated, a curriculum unit, where it may be a learning objective that they have found their way to from an inquiry-driven learning perspective. That they found this and they're interested in getting me that. So let's say that's in our learning scope. Sitting above it is a ring of lenses, just like you might expect in a microscope. But these lenses are different perspectives. That some of the perspectives deal with issues like the different references I mentioned. And some deal with alternative styles of representation that will help learners who have different cognitive biases, or different sensory biases, different modes of accessing what's essentially meant here. So imagine that in the center of what I call a relevancy bubble, or somebody else might call a curriculum unit, or the hardware and software we call a meaning module, there's a central meaning intention. That was what this is all about, this. Right? There's many different ways to come home here. There's many different ways that would work, that, some will work better for others depending upon the different biases or strengths or weaknesses. So for example, there may be some lenses on the top level ring that deal with more grounded day-to-day things. The central thread like an existing textbook. I want to turn it, just get the key points. or the essential ideas, or let me see a lecture formatted approach to this, or a commentary from a coach or a parallel, or like a sports commentary night, or how does this relate to what's going on in the world right now? So again, somewhat grounded, practical concepts. Something more empirical, abstract, and scientific, another set of lenses which might say, well, what are the laws and rules involved here? What are the relationship models, implications? How did this get to be like this, the natural history of epistemology? The essential activity or structure, the statistics or measurement implied here, or the formula or proof related here. Or something more conductive, like the history or personalities of how this means this, or a story, or the more evocative human drama, the counterpoint, conflict, shared meaning, agreement, or just the beauty. So that imagine, if you will, then, as I was saying, this learner scope, we put this objective in either because we inquired to get there or the curriculum kind of mandated we go there. We've got these lenses now which allow the individual learner to skim through the lenses until that objective and its meaning starts to come home for them, according to them using themselves, differentiating what's not working. And that as they start to get it in focus and they start to stumble over words or terms or pictures, they drop to another level of spinning lenses, which is the reference thing I showed you a few minutes ago. So that what they've got then is this learning scope. You can put whatever you want in it. And through them learning about themselves and how to learn, they use this tool to go home. So that it's not their experience is one of becoming masters primarily of their own learning process, more and more sensitive and extended in their learning process, at the same time achieving the curriculum objective with respect to mastery in that domain, reconciling, bringing those two together.
Can you talk about tension somewhere? What's coming to my mind is tension, that there's that when you realize you have a learning need, a meaning need, when at some subtle level there's some tension somewhere.
Is that good? Yes. In fact, that's the right call for us. Rather than being presentation, we appreciate you bringing it out. There's a slide we can jump to now and talk about that a little bit. Yeah, the place where a learner can really come to understand at the point that the learner can really start to learn to use themselves is exactly when the challenge, okay, is turning into frustration. There's a tension, a frustration, a challenge, and how those kind of congeal in the learner. During this critical attention span that occurs between what we might call relevancy ground, where I'm on safe ground, and where I'm coming to closure in something new, right there attention has to stretch across that gap. That's when learning is occurring. And it's right there where every word, term, phrase, presentational style, cognitive bias spin, opportunity for coaching or collaboration, any incompatibility right there between relevancy ground and the process where foreground movement and background movement kind of co-implicate one another back into renewal. Right during that process is where the educational system as a whole, in terms of its curriculum design and the learner's attention, would you have a dialogue. To the extent that they don't, we're too far away from that, the learner's really on their own, learning that part of their participation in learning is irrelevant. And we're looking at submicron activities with a 10-power microscope.